Be a completely different style of video. This is just going to be a video where I have some gameplay in the black background. I recorded this a little while ago. I was playing and listening to music and recording so I could have something to show while I'm talking uh, in my video. And then I would play a game and talk to you guys while doing this. So I can do two things at once, which is cool. It's a great multitasking thing. But I just wanted to make a video talking about things like why I do what I do as a guild leader and a raid leader. Some of the things about like the fish bro name and Sparta, the guild and stuff, and I just want to like talk to you guys like what it's like to be a guild leader and a raid leader and stuff. From my perspective, my point of view and stuff, like maybe the players who played with me are gonna watch this video, maybe the people that don't even know me are gonna watch this video. I'm just hoping that you guys get something out of this video, no matter who you are, um, and that I talk straight from the heart. So first thing I want to address is I have some odd raid rules when it comes to my raids, especially when it comes to pugs. So I let the raid rules be known. Um, so I started off with something like raid rules, and then I have it equal sign or like a semicolon. I think that's what it's called. Main spec is greater than off spec, so it's main spec then off spec. Guild rules apply to guild members, both Sparta and ICCR. That's for both of my guilds. Loot distribution is based on the master looter's discretion. Raid leader has 100% power over the raid. Reserved items, and then I list off the reserved items. But essentially what this means is I have full control over the raid. I have 100% power over everything. I cannot be reported to any other player or GM or anything. It doesn't matter what you say, what you do. You are in my raid, so you will follow my rules. And then the way I distribute loot is just the regular way. I try to stick to the standard of pug rules, as do most players. They generally do slash roll for main spec, then off spec. Um, yeah, so you would just slash roll, but if you mess up, something I like to do if you mess up is if I'm willing to be generous and I believe a player can fix his mistakes, but he's fucked up too many times, maybe one or two times, wiping the raid, he is going to lose minus 20 to his loot roll instead of a full on loot ban or just being kicked from the raid like many of the players in the raid are calling for. They'll be pissed if he gets the items uh, from them. So what I do is I take 20 numbers off of their roll. So if they do a slash roll and if they get 100, then their roll is going to be an 80. Now if they still win the roll with the 80, then they deserve to get the item. They got lucky and got the item. But if somebody else rolls an 83 and they roll 100, but they fucked up and they got 20 points off of their roll, then they only rolled an 80, and that's because of their own fuck up, ruining their roll, and not because of me being a dick or a ninja or anything like that. Now you can claim this as a ninja or whatever, but if you think about it logically, that player should be happy that I'm even allowing him to roll for the item, because initially everybody in the raid just wanted to kick the guy, waste his ID, and loot ban him, meaning he can't roll on any of the loot in the raid because he was a piece of shit that did not know tactics and lied his way into the raid and said, I know everything I'm doing, I can do everything, don't worry, I'm not going to be a problem to the raid, and then he comes to the raid and he's a complete idiot, right? So that's why I do odd forms of loot rules. I try to help people out, I'm generous and polite when it comes to that. I don't want to be completely harsh, and these odd rules have backfired on me. They have never actually been useful. Because even if I'm being polite and helping them out, it would be much better just to say, "Hey, you're dog shit, you're trash, you're an idiot, like you're loot banned, okay? And if you leave this raid, we're just gonna blacklist you." And that would be the saving grace for my reputation in game. But I really have never given a single flying fucks about my reputation, which is why so many people talk about Fish Bro Ninja, Sparta Ninja, blah blah blah. It doesn't matter. I'm trying to be a good person to help people out, and they can't respect the fact that as a raid leader, I'm going out on a limb to help them, and instead of realizing like it's my job to loot ban you, and instead I'm just like lowering your rolls. It's really silly that people can't understand that, but that's whatever. Then we move on to the next one too. People call me toxic. They call me an asshole, and I can understand it because what I tend to do is I do public shaming and insults instead of innate punishment via loot banning, DKP losses, and or complete removal of core raids or from the raid or core. Or in a pug, I would not remove the player, I would just tell them they're a fucking idiot, and I would shame them, but I would not disclude them, right? I actively care about the people in my raid. I care about like if they get loot, if they wasted their time, if they learn the tactics, I want to help them out. But you got to understand that I'm going out on a limb by bringing you to the raid, and you're causing me to have a much worse job. So instead of just straight up loot banning you or just kicking you or removing you from the core or whatever, I actively just publicly shame you. Sometimes I'll insult you or whatever. It's not the best thing if I unless I could just address it. Hey, you've messed up here. Just do this. I try to keep it calm as long as I can. But if you repeatedly do the same mistake over and over, you're actively working against improvement. You're not trying to improve. And I have to insult you and like shame you publicly so people can like get it into your gear, like get it in your brain. Hey, idiot, you're not paying attention. Do this, or you might be kicked. And like I get the entire group to like start getting on you, and either you grow a thick skin and you get through it and you figure out what you're doing wrong, or you just get kicked from the raid because you're too stupid to learn. Like that's like the harsh, blunt reality of it. And I don't mean to be a complete dick, but that's how I ended up learning. People taught me. They were like, "Hey, you're messing up. I need to turn this sound off." Um, so they're like, "Hey, you're messing up. Do this." I was like, "Okay, yes, sir." And I've been kicked from many raids, just because I'm fish, bro. Because of my reputation alone, not because I actually mess up. And I've been unfairly kicked and whatnot. I've had people troll my raids, so there's a lot of times I end up having to make a judgment call, blacklist people and stuff, and recognize who's a troll and who's not a troll. But in the end, the goal is just to have a successful raid, have a good time with the people. And so leading these raids is not an easy task, especially from an inexperienced leader, let alone an experienced leader. If you don't have a reputation, then you don't have to worry about anything. People will give you a chance usually. But yeah, I mean, I would publicly shame you before I just get rid of you. And that's because I care about you. And that's the honest truth. Like, if I didn't care about you, I would just toss you on the wayside and I would forget about you and say, whatever, he's trash, and just move on. But instead, I say, no, dude, you're fucking dog shit. You should be doing this, not this. Why are you doing this? Please stop doing this. I really don't want to get rid of you. I like you as a person. You're a cool player. You're a good guy. I like you. But please, you gotta fix this. And I publicly shame. Um, then, and then we move on to uh, the next one. While I'm in a raid, like quite a lot, like I will be waiting for a resurrection and being a hypocrite. I will be telling guild members and teammates to run back in. They'll do the corpse run while I just sit on my ass. And that's a hypocritical leader move, but at the same time, there's a couple benefits to it. One, if I do the corpse run and it's on heroic, oftentimes like it will swap the difficulties, and then it gives me that stupid message: you must wait 1 minute before you can swap the difficulty, and that's a pain in the ass to deal with, and it really annoys me. And then secondly, it's handling tilt. It's how I handle tilt. I would much rather just wait for the res, calm down while I'm dead. Maybe drink some water, chill. I don't know, whatever I'm doing. Maybe eat, smoke a doobie. I don't care. I don't care. I don't smoke or drink, but whatever. Um, but yeah, it's how I manage tilt, especially as a raid leader when you wipe, and the reason you wiped was because some dude can't listen to you and they're not doing tactics after you tell them a million times. But like to counter this concept, yes, people don't listen. They don't follow your same tactics over and over, and it can be really annoying. But at the same time, it is very satisfying when you finally get that kill on the boss that you've been grinding hard for, trying to get everybody to follow the same tactics, and then boom, everyone has figured it out. They've done what you needed them to do, and then they all get the same tactics done, and you get through that boss, and you're like, thank God, this was so hard, but we did it. Um, the next one is persistency. I'm quite persistent in the guild. I'm gonna be honest. I'm the longest playing player in the guild. There's like maybe 4 or 5 players who've been in the guild um, for even like half as long as me. Some players I can say are like Toasty, Snixor, Dayeta. These guys have been in the guild since like last year, March, April or so, something like that. And maybe even earlier, and they've been in the guild since I like formed it. There's a couple people that have been in the guild since like I had the guild as Ice Crown Citadel and Ice Crown Citadel Raiders. Ice Crown Citadel and Ice Crown Citadel Raiders was the name of the guild before I like made Sparta. I made a separate guild to get rid of the reputation. I brought the best players from the original guild, and then I left the guild to just chill and like play out and stuff. And then eventually it died out, and I just kicked everybody and used the guild bank for personal storage and space. Um, I really gotta mute this Discord. Oh, but it's yeah, it's overall been a good thing that I've been persistent because, as you can see, Jesus Christ, what is wrong with this? I'm gonna mute Discord completely. I really don't want you guys checking your Discords right now. Oh, someone's talking to me. Someone's talking to me. Wow, I have like 5 Discords open. Anyways, back on the ranch. Back on the ranch, I've been persistent. We had guild destruction. There's been a lot of things that happened in the guild. Other guilds have actually sabotaged our guild. They had their players infiltrate our guild, go into the guild, actively cause problems. Say you guys are a bunch of fucking retards. We do it like this and here, and we do good. Like my guild currently, we do Lich King every time, but if we go to a guild that's only doing 6 bosses, we can easily get the players to leave. Guys, 6 bosses? You guys are fucking trash. Who's leading this shit? You guys are following this dumbass? Oh my god, dude. Like, bro, you realize this is mediocre run, right? We could take 3K gear score players and do this. This is easy. And you guys are following this retard. You know, like it's as easy as that when you have a much more experienced player leading and stuff, when you have much better players leading and stuff, skill wise better, like tactics wise, like longer playing, people who know what they're doing and how long they've been doing it for and whatnot. And so it's really easy to poach players from other guilds, but having some respect is one of the things that we have been taken advantage of by a lot of guilds. Dogs per second DPS has taken some of our members in the past. We've lost some people to Argent Dawn, Illusion. The Drunk Shack had their guild leader Gritty Bang, Tiamat, that faggot. I don't mean to say faggot because it's a bad word, but like when I get upset, you know, I just say words. It's whatever. But like that asshole, he was a complete jerk. He was a full-on dickhead. He straight up was just coming to our guild. He's a guild leader. He's leading his own guild, filling his own cores and stuff. And instead of actively looking for members for his guild, he was actively coming to our guild, trying to get our players to leave, just so he could sow seeds of destruction into our guild and cause problems for us. And he succeeded. He got a player by the name of Ashy's Soul to come into the guild, become an officer, This player was from Invictus, so Sparta and Invictus had problems because uh, I was like talking to their members and poaching members from them because I thought it was a leveling guild, and Ashy Soul said that they were just a bunch of fucking retards that uh, tried to lead raids, but they couldn't even get past Marigar, and they were just a bunch of leveling noobs that had no clue what they were doing. They're not a serious guild, and I could go ahead and try to poach members from them. And he got a few of the level 80s that were in that guild to try to go ahead and come over here, and he did. He got a lot of level 80s come to Sparta. They got a bunch of gear. Loot Council got the trust of the guild, got 6k gear score. Yeah, I'm gonna be with the guild forever. Goodbye, fuck you. I got 6k gear score. I'm out. And they just left, and they went to Drunk Shack, and Ashy Soul also was offered like 30,000 gold from the leader of Drunk Shack as well, Gritty Bang. And so he built like his reputation of like whatnot off of like poaching players from other guilds and causing problems. And then we have a screenshot in our Discord and stuff of like the current leaders, Foxy Moron and a few others in the Drunk Shack. They're currently trying to attack our guild again, actively looking to see if they could sow seeds of destruction and stuff. So as a guild leader, I have to be wary of threats like this. I have to be like knowledgeable and know that these players are out to like cause problems for our guild. I gotta know that these players are trying to get our guild members to leave because it's too toxic in our guild. It's too aggravating dealing with drama that like we talk for hours on Discord. Cause like the first time our core fell apart was back in like July, and it was because Ashy Soul and Gritty Bang they got into the core. Ashy Soul was leading his own 10 man, and Gritty Bang came in there with him, showed them how to do 10 man properly, get to Lich King and stuff, and they took out at least 4 of our core members, and that began a catalyst, a downfall of the guild. Ashy Soul, leading up to the point where he would leave, he actually like caused a lot of like toxicity and questioning one officer and asking another, why does he allow this from the guild leader? He should like call you out on it, do this and that, cause problems within the leadership of the guild. And then he took 4 core members and left with it. And before he left, 2 officers left, so we lost like 6 core members. We kept replacing and losing, replacing and losing. And then after that, like he was still in the Discord. He's like, I didn't mean to do this, blah blah blah. He's spamming lies in our Discord and claiming that our guild is just toxic, we're just a bunch of assholes, and that other guilds are not this like bogus and stuff. So he was a piece of shit, and so was Gritty Bang and Foxy Moron and a few of the other guys. Another guy named like Terry Bull. Some of these people are really bogus players that are in their guild that have actively seeked out to poach players from our guild, and they're doing it again now that we have Blood Queen and Heroic Marigar on farm and stuff, and Lich King and 10 man. Like, they know we're a good guild, they can get good players from our guild, so why don't they just go ahead and poach our players instead of just making good players? They would much rather just take them and steal them from another guild. So that's the bogus bullshit that we got to deal with here. Um, but I'm persistent. Even if I lose a member here or there, like, I don't care who leaves. I'm going to continue leading this guild. I'm going to continue to make sure the core is full. I'm gonna continue leading these solid raids, and I don't care who leaves. Even if my favorite officers leave, I'm gonna be like, damn, that sucks. I'm gonna be like, whatever. But I'm not gonna stop in my tracks and stop the train from moving. Sparta is gonna kill Light of Dawn. It's gonna get the heroic Lich King achievements some point, probably within the next year. And so yeah, that's persistency. And yeah, it doesn't matter who's trying to poach our members, but we got systems in place to stop that. Our core so going back on our rants, just explaining history, our core fell apart because of that. We lost 6 core members, and the other 3 core members were upset because people were leaving, so they left. And then like 9 core members leave, it's a disaster. I'm just gonna leave the core, and then I'm just gonna leave the core, and then everybody left. I got somebody messaging me. Yeah, so I had to reform the core from scratch around August, August and September, and so at this point, I have just been persistent and growing it, and I don't care who leaves, who joins. Like I know how to lead. I know how to like get even the weakest groups through heroic bosses and stuff. Like heroic surfing, I could probably get a group of like 5.4k gear score players. Um, I've got some seriously dedicated players in the guild, as well as a bunch of like newer players. So I'm gonna be persistent and non-stopping. Last but not least, self-rewarding and doing reserved loot council or bonus DKP. Back in the day, I used to do loot council. I would reward myself quite often with the gear that is like the best suited for me. I would not reward myself with loot that could do way better on other people. I just finally got sharpened Twilight Scale for the first time after a year and 2 months of raiding. I'm a ninja piece of shit. I'm a thief. I steal all the loot, but this item that I've had in my inventory at least 30 times in the last like year and a half that I have not taken for myself is testament to the fact that that's full of shit, and all these people spamming global chat are full of shit because I have not taken Sharpened Twilight Scale. STS is the abbreviation, and it's an item that I've needed, and I finally got it after a very long time. But I give myself bonus DKP as a guild leader. I give officers bonus DKP. I give everybody in the guild that does work and does the job that the guild needs them to do bonus DKP. So if you're handling promotions, if you're handling this, if you're handling that, if you're doing everything, if you're raid leading, there's bonuses on top of all of that. So that's what I do with DKP. It's completely fair. Um, but one of the biggest things, sorry, one of the biggest things was loot council when I would talk about like how I'm taking loot and rewarding myself the loot. People would get a bit upset about it because why am I taking the loot? Why do I not give it to like the new guy that just joined the guild, just joined the core, and why haven't I given him any loot in the first month? Maybe because it's the first month you're in the guild, and I don't know if you're planning on leaving. I mean, obviously, if you get a piece of loot here and there, you might be okay, but like, what have you done to showcase that you earned it? But, you know, people don't think about it like that. They're loot hungry, loot mongerers and stuff. Um, but loot council was the best way we distributed loot in the guild. DKP has been the most like consistent, where people can just shut the hell up, just bid your DKP and be quiet. Like I mean, yes, the red paladin can bid 1500 DKP on DBW, and I have to come in and say no, class priority, you're an idiot, that's not for you. You can have that DBW after all the other Fury Warriors and rogues have that DBW, but it's simple. um, that I can come in and do class priority and loot council on top of the DKP, telling people like, hey, you're clueless, you don't know what your class needs, this is why you shouldn't have this, blah 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 blah. But if it's an upgrade and it's a decent one, then it's fine. Reserve loot. Yes, I've gotta address how I got my ninja looting reputation. Um, Lots of Hispanics on the server. Lots of Hispanics. Yo no hablo inglés, and then they come to the raid and they don't know any English. They mess up all the tactics. They almost wipe the raid like 15 times. They do wipe the raid 15 times. We finally get to the boss. We kill it, and the item that I reserved drops, and they're like, "Why you no roll this? Why you no roll this?" And I'm like, "It was reserved. Reserved means it's mine." And they're like, I didn't know, fish bro ninja, fish bro ninja. And I mean, I know I sound a little bit racist saying it like this, but it's the fact that if you don't know English, or you don't know Spanish, or you don't know Russian, why are you joining a raid with a bunch of Russians that only speak Russian, and they're linking this item that you need, and you're completely clueless what they mean when they link it, and then all of a sudden it drops and you're questioning why you're not getting it, and you're like, I don't know, it's a bunch of Russians are saying Russian words, and this guy's ninja, like it's sheer stupidity how I got my ninja looter reputation. But that's fact is, if I reserved items and I would reward myself for leading the raid, people would get upset, and then they did, and now they call me a ninja looter. But it's whatever, it's fine. um so yeah, at this point, I think I should start talking to like the guildies and what I think of the guild so far, how we're gonna progress and stuff. Look, guys, I'm only human. I'm not a god. I mean, I know I put on a front, the Fish Bro, the Unstoppable, the God, Fish Bro Ninja, Sparta Ninja. I don't give a fuck, you know. It doesn't matter. You say I'm a ninja, whatever. It doesn't affect me. I'm a beast. Doesn't matter. I'm Leonidas, King of Sparta, you know. But like, it does bother me, you know. It's annoying. It's annoying. I gotta put these guys on ignore, and instead of just being friendly with them and stuff and having a good time, I've got to have an ignore list of like 500 people because they're all trolls spamming my guild as a bunch of ninja looters, when in fact my guild has never had a single ninja looter in the guild. Um, Everybody who's ninja looted in the guild has been like permabanned, or like permabanned, blacklisted from the guild, and we actually actively punish ninja looters. If you come to our guild raid and you're a ninja looter, I have you on my ignore list, and it says this guy is a ninja looting piece of shit. I'm not giving you loot, no matter how much you say you should get it, and no matter who says in the guild that they should get it. If you win the item, but you're a ninja looter, and then tough shit, you don't deserve the item. You've stolen loot in the past. You don't deserve to get the loot in the future. Like, you can go fuck yourself. And I think other guilds should do this. Ninja looters should be fucking permanently blacklisted from every raid, and if they sneak into a raid, they should be punished, not given loot, and then permabanned. Like, ninja looting should be permabanned, not just given a tap on the wrist. Here's a 5-day ban or whatever, a 2-day ban. Go ahead and go free. No, it should be permabanned. So that's my honest opinion. And unless I'm breaking the war main rules, which I'm not, because I already post at the beginning of the raid. I post my rules. This is my raid, not a war main pug. So you have to follow my rules and shut the fuck up. So if you're a ninja looter, you should obviously pay attention to what I'm saying and not actually come to our raid. Because if you're on my list and it says you're a ninja looter, then you're not getting loot. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're a thief, you're a thief. You don't get loot. I mean, yes, I'm okay with stealing from thieves, if we think about it like that. Moving on from that, if you're a complete asshole and you're like defaming our guild and stuff, like, I'm not going to take you to our guild raid. And if you do sneak into my guild raid, I'll just kick you right there on the spot. If there's loot that like you've participated in and whatnot, then maybe I'll like roll it out and like let you get the items you want. But like, you're wasting your ID because you snuck into a guild raid from a guild that you're blacklisted from. And like, it really does depend on if you're trolling or not. If you're actually playing normal and you're just blacklisted, like, it really depends on how bad you messed up, how bad you're trolling us. But like, you should not be going to a guild raid if you're blacklisted from that guild. So if you don't get loot from our guild during our guild raid, that's on you as well. If you do, then it's whatever. I think I've covered everything. I mean, I don't think there's too much left to cover, but yeah, I mean, that's what I've got for you guys. And yeah. So I mean, I thank you guys for watching this video. Hit the like button, subscribe, and all that shit. But I mean, this one isn't really for promotions or trying to grow the channel. This is more speaking from the heart. Thank you for watching, and cheers. Here's to a great 2021.